Hey guys, I'm Tutorial Phil. Welcome back to my channel. This video is a more detailed look on the Louis Vuitton Cannes. So I had unboxed this in my Louis Vuitton haul in one of my previous videos, and this is actually from the women's collection. It's from the Runway Fall Winter 2018. I kind of thought this bag looked kind of familiar because it is a very classic, almost retro looking shape. When I Googled it later after purchasing this, I realized that this is a kind of like a neo version of a much older bag. And I'll insert a picture for reference. The older bag was more of, they called it a vanity case. So I'm assuming it was for women to put their makeup brushes, makeup, compacts, and things like that. I believe it was bigger than this one. A couple of key differences is that it didn't have this leather patch in the front, which has Louis Vuitton Paris. And it also didn't have the shoulder strap. Because this being smaller, you could actually wear it, I guess, as a crossbody bag, which in this video, at near the end of it, I'm going to try on a few outfits for you so you can see what it looks like on. I'm not actually sure if I would ever wear this. So this was purchased more as a display item. So I'm also going to show you kind of what fits inside so you get a general sense of the volume this can hold. So it has a top handle here, which is leather that's been stitched together, but it's pretty stiff. And then you have the metal hardware here that connects it. So if I turn it over this way, right now I have it locked. You lock it via the zipper pull, which is a leather pull. In the back, or near the back, right now I have the zipper lock. You can see here, it basically goes through like a peg, and then you lock the lock over the peg like that. And the back is actually flat, so if I turn this from a top-down view, you can see the top. The back is flat, which helps when you're carrying it so that it doesn't bump against you as much. And the bottom does have feet on it, which is a nice addition because this is a rigid bag. It's not technically hard-sided, it's not made out of wood, but it is extremely structured. So this bag, you can expect it to retain its shape over time. And plus this is in the Epi version, which is already stiff leather. And then now I'm going to unlock it for you so I can show you what the inside looks like. So this is the leather tab I was talking about earlier. There's a hole in there for you to put through this metal peg. And then it's just one zipper that zips all the way around like that. And then on top is where the made in tag is. So this one is Louis Vuitton Paris, made in France. And inside I still have the dust bag. And this one does come with a booklet that talks about the runway items. This is for Runway Women's Fall Winter 2018. And then here is the model number. It's the new SE Rigid Hand Epi Noir M5226. And you can see here it's 2600. They have the reverse monogram version, which I think is 2360. So the price difference is not that great anymore. If you look at the bags that have canvas and leather versions, I think in the past the difference was more substantial, but I feel like recently the gap hasn't been as wide between the all canvas and leather pieces, especially the more of the standard leather, like the Epi Taiga leather. So you can see the texture of the Epi leather here. This is the tab I was talking about earlier, and you have these metal parts that have Louis Vuitton on them as well. And then on the side here where the shoulder strap connects to it, you can see this also has LV on it. A missing feature of this Epi bag is that there's no stamped LV on the leather, which the older version actually had one down here. So the replacement is that it has this triangular leather tab here in place of the LV stamp that you would usually find on epi pieces. So like I have a couple epi pieces and they always on the corner have the LV stamped into the leather. The shoulder straps also, there's an LV on both sides on the bottom there. The shoulder strap is adjustable. There isn't padding to it, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 adjustments you can make. And this was what I was talking about, like a leather keeper. So if you watched my previous video, it was on the Gucci Globetrotter. The Gucci one is missing this. And what this does is it helps this piece from flailing around. You can see that if I disconnect this, what happens when you wear it is this piece will start flying off. So I feel like that was a big oversight on Gucci's part or Globetrotter's part not to include this, because honestly, I mean, it's just a small leather piece, but it helps the aesthetic when you're wearing it. So inside, it's really hard to see because it's their microfiber lining, and it's in like a super dark gray color, almost black. There's no pockets inside, and there's really no other tabs or anything. All it is just one bucket, and this is just the inside. I think it looks like you can probably pull it out, but I'm not going to try to do that in this video. The other version, or the original version, had a little pocket in the back here. I'm not exactly sure what that was used for, but this one doesn't have any pockets inside, so it's just one bucket. So I'm gonna briefly just show you what you could fit inside of this. One thing about this top is because there's no actual hinge, it's just leather, it's gonna close automatically, so it won't be able to stay open. You may have to break it in, and eventually, actually, if you bend it hard enough to the back, you can have it stay open. So this is the sunglass case from my Louis Vuitton haul as well. And it does actually fit because there's a little bit more clearance on the top. So even though it juts out here, the top isn't completely flat. There's a little bit of depth before it hits the zipper. So my Dior Homme sunglass case would of course fit as well because it's the same height, but it's actually smaller in other dimensions. So you could fit this in the back, and there's definitely plenty of room to fit like my card holder. I can fit my keys in there. And then I could still even fit like a hand lotion like the Chanel Egg. And then just to let you see kind of the size comparison, the Perrier bottle, this is like the small one. I think if I pull out the sunglass case, so actually it won't fit. So that's the Perrier water bottle is too tall for this one. And because this is like a narrow, you could say it's a narrow bag, you do have to put your items in there strategically so that you can find them. You could still fit like a 100 milliliter size perfume inside. So I probably wouldn't normally carry that in a bag, but just kind of showing you. And then there's still a little bit of room on the top, but you also don't want to fill this up because you're not going to be able to find the stuff or get access to your things near the bottom. So that's kind of what it looks like inside right now. There is still some space, so you could put your phone in there as well. So this is my iPhone 10. You can see it's shorter, so it'll obviously fit, but it's not easy access. So even though I sometimes put my phone in the bag for these videos, I probably wouldn't unless it's easy access, and this one is not easy access. You probably don't want to keep it open like this because the opening is so wide that if the bag tips over, every single thing in your bag is going to fall out. And you definitely don't want that to happen. So if there was a back pocket, if there was an easy back pocket, I would consider putting my phone in the back. But there isn't. There's just only one large compartment in the middle. This is just a quick size comparison between the Globetrotter, the Gucci Globetrotter that I had just unboxed and did a detailed video of, and the LV Cons bag. The height is almost pretty much the same, but you can see this one is a lot wider. But this one is also less, it's thinner, because this one's pretty much the same width all the way around, but it does have a flat back, but you can still see the LV bag is wider. So about the same height, but the LV bag is wider, and then it's wider in one dimension and then narrower in another. And since I have this one both here, so you can see the straps, you can see here the buckle system is pretty much the same, although the Gucci one has a leather piece here to back the metal piece that goes through the holes. But you can see here how it flails around because there's not a piece like this which keeps the extra leather strap intact. And then now I'm just going to try on the bag for you so you can see some sort of size comparison and how it looked like with different outfits. And that's my video. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more videos. Check me out on Instagram for the latest updates and exclusive content. I'll be posting some stills from the try-on portion on Instagram as well if you want to check out more detailed shots there. And I usually just have more content there anyway. So if you like what you see on YouTube, I definitely recommend that you check me out on Instagram, and I hope to see you in my next video.